I don't care if I'm getting fat. I love eating frozen food. There's so many tasty snacks. I took time to make a list of all the frozen foods that taste delish. It goes something like this. I love Pepperidge Farm chocolate fudge cake. I love Hungry Man country fried steak. I want White Castle burgers with Nathan fries, along with Swanson's family-sized chicken pot pie. I love Jimmy Dean and Kid Cuisines with a scoop of Rocky Road Haagen-Dazs ice cream. I love Bagel Bites and Totino's and Red Baron and DiGiorno. I want Marie Callender's macaroni and cheese, and I need Mrs. T's yummy pierogies. I love Pillsbury apple toaster strudels and P.F. Chang's chicken with garlic noodles. I love Eggos and Aunt Jemima pancakes and the cheese enchiladas that Stouffer's make. I want French toast sticks and Uncrustables, Chili's queso dip and popsicles. I'm always in the mood for frozen food. For frozen food. For frozen food. Ooh, what was that?
What's that sound?
Aliens, and they're coming in your town. Hello, weirdos. What is it? How's everybody doing out there in weirdo land? I hope you guys can hear us loud and clear. I think they are, because we got 2 people watching.
Nice.
Woo! All right, we are back, everybody's here. The whole gang. We got a Denny's, we got a Ryan Beckett, we have a Vicky, and happy National Frozen Food Day, everybody. Quickly, everyone go around, tell me your favorite frozen food. You only get one.
Pizza.
Frozen pizza, that's your numero uno?
Specific.
Oh, he wants specifics.
I think I'm Primo Thin from Publix.
All right, that's your go. So out of all the frozen pizzas, you go with the Publix.
If I'm being naughty, there's a lean protein pizza that, I get the pizza fix, but doesn't really taste as good. But yeah,
Lean frozen pizza?
It's protein pizza.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like one of, you get those chips that are like protein chips. They're not as good as like real chips, but they're good.
All right.
They get you through.
All right. That was a weak answer number 1.
Whatever. Let's see.
Come on, you're pizza too.
I am pizza. I do love pizza. Yeah, but my pizza doesn't suck.
No, but Primo Thin is my Publix go-to. That's my naughty pizza. That's real pizza.
Understood. Denny's, what do you got?
I mean, a chicken pot pie is pretty tough to beat.
Gosh, chicken pot pie, man. I haven't had a chicken pot pie in forever. And holy crud balls, it is delicious.
It's so good, and I'll eat an entire one and just want to nap after.
All right, Vicky, you're up.
Stouffer's turkey tetrazzini.
Thank you for getting me some. Yeah, thank you. Very good. Well, Vicky, our psychic medium, who is awesome, she did a walk through my house. She likes to do that. And again, if you don't mind, Vicky, if you let the people know what a walkthrough is and what did you discover tonight?
Well, a walkthrough is when I go through a property and I try to see what I pick up. And your house is literally full of electricity. I mean, the one room over here, I'm spinning around in a circle, feels like there might be a vortex. Soon as I step out of there, I'm getting electrical shocks as I walk through everywhere. When I went over the threshold into your living space, my arm started to hurt like somebody had grabbed it. It's off the chain here right now.
I got to tell you, Beckett, it has been off the chain to the point where people are feeling things grab them from behind. I am hearing.
I should have came over earlier.
Well, it's like it's not like an eyes wide shut kind of situation.
Okay, fair enough.
No, but it's at the point where you hear walking around, not like as if it was an animal. It sounds like someone is shuffling around the house, a person. Vicky, that's been the number one thing the last 3 to 4 days. It's been buzzing with that.
Yeah, there's a ton of energy. It wouldn't surprise me if you actually didn't catch glimpses of somebody shooting through. Like sometimes they literally shoot through, like really fast through the place.
What do you mean by that?
Well, the difference between like if I was going to walk slowly through your house or if I'm just going to kind of run. So there's definitely been times where things have just been shooting through really fast.
Yeah, that is that's been one of the big symptoms lately is somebody trying to pull my hair or mess with my neck, and the same thing that has happened with my girlfriend. They know that I am with somebody and I feel like activity has kicked up to a next level, and I'm not sure if this ghost likes my girlfriend,
Well-
or is just not, or is trying.
Or jealous.
Right. I don't think it's anything specific against her. It's just the fact that when you're not alone, that presents a problem. It's harder for them to mess with you if you have somebody with you. Also, if you have somebody with you and you're happy, you're less likely to be manipulated and controlled by them as well. So I don't think it's her per se that, in other words, not that they don't like her. It's just that they don't want her around because then they don't have you to
It
themselves.
distracts them from you.
Yeah.
Much like the storyline in Casper, they're going to do whatever they can to push her out of the house.
It's funny how many things come back to Casper.
Well, it's underrated movie, y'all. Becky, if you haven't seen it, please.
I've seen the old school one.
The one with is it Christina Ricci, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I highly recommend. It's a kids.
Bill Pullman?
It's a kids movie, but I've gone on and on about it. I mean, since I've seen it,
That's a good movie. It's just unnecessarily heavy.
I think it's got heart. Okay, so now when you say the house is electric, Vicky, are you getting a menacing feel? Are you getting?
I'm just getting activity, just the fact that it's super heavy with activity, so much so that they have less so much residual energy that it's electric. It's like shocking me as I go through, literal, like, putting your finger in a light socket kind of shock.
Is now the time to film?
It might just be.
Oh, Beckett, I know you want to
just
film.
Always want to film.
Well, you hear all this, Beckett. What are your thoughts? I believe at one point you did have some kind of an experience in my house. No.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting that there is another person involved. Has she noticed anything, by the way?
Yes, well, that was one of the things that had happened. She was, my girlfriend was in the kitchen, and she goes, "Did you just, were you just behind me and tried to grab me?" And I said, "No, I was nowhere near you. I was over on the couch." She goes, "I heard someone walk up behind me and then try to touch me, and then I looked back and you weren't there." And then she goes, "Oh, did you just do that to me?" I said, "No, not at all."
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. In fact, before you said that earlier, I didn't say anything, but literally right before you said about something touched me back here as well, sitting here in the studio right before then.
Well, if you remember, as Denny's and I being the resident skeptic, when we did the investigation at your house with Vicky and her team, I was the one in the room with the EVP. Remember that?
Yes, well, that's what I was saying. That you had an experience
Yeah.
here. I felt like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Everyone thought it was my laugh, but it wasn't.
No, I am working on trying to figure out what did happen in this house. I've asked neighbors. Some neighbors say that someone definitely did die here. That I do know, but they don't. How the girl died is up in the air. Some people say it was a drug overdose. Other people say they thought it was foul play because she had a boyfriend.
Oh man.
Well, did they check the police records? The first thing you do if you really want to do the background, but don't tell me about it, but if you want to do the background on it, go back and look and see if you can research any police records for this particular address.
There's nothing there. I've looked. That's the problem. I have run into a dead end, pun intended. But yeah, I'm running out of options. And somebody emailed me, and I'm not sure how accurate it could be, who used to work in law enforcement. They said sometimes it's not going to be that easy of just you trying to search for
Right.
something, and not everything's going to be on record like you think it might be, especially if it happened a long time ago.
The other idea, I don't know what kind of access you would have to it, but it just sparked my memory since Lindsley works at the medical examiner's office. That body would have had to, if somebody was murdered here or died of natural causes even, it would have gone to the medical examiner's office. So there would be something on file. I don't know if you could search via address or if you have to know the person's name in order to find out the details, but that's another place where you might be able to find the information.
Yeah, and maybe out there in Weirdo Land or KVJ Nation Land, if you guys know a quick shortcut way to get all of the information, it'd be
Yeah.
cool to get the information on all of our houses, but especially mine, seeing that you say it's littered and buzzing with
Can
spirit.
realtors get that information or no?
No, because we're not allowed. I actually had a client get really mad at me because someone died in their house and I didn't know it. I was representing them on the buy side, and like a couple months later, the husband was like rip shit mad at me. I was like, listen, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And, anything that affects value, Like if you know it has mold or
Gotcha.
or you know that a airplane route's going to come right over the house, like you're required by law to disclose that. But if someone just has like EBGBs on something that someone else wouldn't have, like even if I did know that, which I did not, you're not required to disclose that.
What about a murder?
Murder, no, because that doesn't affect the value in
the
theory of the home, right?
It just creeps some people out.
I don't know. I'd argue that it does affect the value for some people.
It actually could make it go up, though. You could make a case.
It could go up, but I could also see a family finding out that, let's say you buy a house and we're talking not just a murder, but a mass murder situation with a axe.
Oh, jeez.
Horrific situation, bearded man, flannel shirt, wily hair coming out of the woods, leaves matted down.
Got it.
Yeah, just a wild man, Beckett.
Yeah.
How do you sell that? That doesn't affect the value?
It's a great deal.
See, I thought
You can't afford not to buy it.
this would be the first one to go running if you bought a property and there was something like that and
100%.
something
So
happened.
someone like me, Beckett,
I'm the kind of guy I don't even show the house.
someone like me, I could see the value going up. Someone who isn't into that shit, I could see them going, screw you, buddy. I'm not buying this.
Oh, if somebody's superstitious and it was between two houses, they
But
would probably not.
great point. That's why it's a net even,
God.
right? And you can say things other nefarious, like there are racial things and like other things that they have made federal law that like you can't do that to like change a value of a house, right? Like there's certain things that legitimately like it's going to cost you a lot of money to get the mold out of the house. Like
Yes.
that is a legitimate, and it's a health issue. That's a legitimate thing. But if you're superstitious or whatever, like that's not a material value thing.
What if you're just a little suspicious?
Well, I like you. I grew up playing baseball, so we all have a little like superstition to us, right?
for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
See, I thought that first, I remember when you were at the first apartment, first time I met you, the team went in and we investigated that apartment upstairs where that woman had been murdered. And I thought that the story behind it is because it wasn't rented to anyone, is because they had a hard time keeping people there and that they were disclosing that someone had been murdered there. So it was a company that rented it out for people who were coming in town, and so they would only stay there for a few nights at a time.
If I remember too, I don't think they wanted to rent it either, because I remember I was pretty tight with the dude that ran it, and I don't think they were comfortable even wanting to put that out because it was a pretty public case,
Right?
And that was pretty freaky because that was a case, Beckett, where a woman she got killed in her closet right upstairs where the place that I lived at. I wasn't living there quite yet. I think it was a year or two before I had gotten there, but they never solved it, and they for a long time suspected the husband, and they found a cigarette butt right outside, but they couldn't connect it. And you wonder on a case like that where they have a cigarette butt, is that still in evidence, and are they just waiting for whoever screwed up to get in that database?
I hope.
Nowadays, cigarette butts DNA.
Yeah, it's definitely DNA.
Now it's DNA.
But back then it wouldn't have been either, because I hear stories of they'll have something from 1979, test it with DNA on it.
Yeah, they can save it if it's
Saved
saved.
it.
Yeah,
but they wouldn't have
But
done
you
it
know,
in
some
79.
precincts are probably like, let's clear out the storage room.
100%.
Yeah.
I think it's relevant. Like there was a place growing up as a kid up in Connecticut called the Chart House, and it became a famous restaurant. And one of the reasons it was like an old colonial house, like late 1700s. The guy found out, I don't know if he was off to war or whatever, but long story short, he found out his wife was having an affair. So he beheaded everyone in the family. Everyone in the family. And the house was like, wouldn't be touched for a while, whatever. When they were renovating the house, they found the old oil paintings with all of the heads cut out of the oil canvases, right, in the stored in the attic or whatever. So in the restaurant to this day, they had put the pictures back together on the oil canvases, and that's part of the restaurant.
Oh, wow.
And part of the theme of the thing is they're like, oh, the candles went out. Like, yeah,
Okay,
like, it's haunted.
Vicky, now do you think sometimes these restaurants and hotels and all these establishments, they make up some details to have that be kind of like a a parlor trick to get people in there.
Yeah, I mean, I can't testify as to how accurate that one was, but yeah, of course they're going to embellish, and they're going to, just like there's a place in Delray, I won't call it out, but it was originally the storefront of supposedly where the last victim of Jack the Ripper had gone, the pub that she had gone to the night she was murdered. Well, we were going to investigate there years ago when I was on Florida Ghost Team, and I actually did the research, and that story is completely wrong. His last victim did not go to any pub, specifically not that pub, right before she was murdered. So yeah, they take a little bit of truth and they kind of stretch it to, get people in.
Of course, business.
Yeah, I stayed at a bed and breakfast in Savannah, and they had a story where I guess the lady was dying, and as she died, she like pushed a picture frame, and it stayed in that position and has never moved since. And you can hear her walking around.
Well, really, I stayed at a place where in the restaurant, supposedly they were serving meatballs, but it wasn't meatballs. It was eyeballs. No, it's not true. I made that up there. So let's get into some Ask Vicky. We always love to pick the brain. Oh, yes, you're right. Let's give her a theme song. It's time for Ask Vicky. Ask Vicky. We like to ask Vicky, our psychic medium, also our paranormal investigator, questions just to kind of pick the brain of the paranormal. First question this week. If spirits are real, why do they only seem to communicate in vague signs, cryptic messages, energy fluctuations instead of clear, direct conversations? I get this question a lot. Why do they always have to do it so cryptically? Why can't they just come out and go, Vicky,
Yeah, I mean, I wish they would. It would make my job a lot easier. I think it has to do with learning how to communicate. And so think of it as you getting a foreign exchange student. And so when they first move in, you're going to have a hard time communicating because they have to learn your language, or you have to learn theirs, or you have to make adaptations by using hand signals and things like that. Same thing when you go to the other side, you don't communicate exactly the same way. You have to learn. Not only do you have to learn how to communicate for people here to see you, people here have to learn how to see you and interpret what you're saying. So in my opinion, that's why you have the discrepancy, is that you both don't speak the same language anymore.
Yeah, and there's, people always say, well, why does it have to line up this way to get the answer? Because everyone will go, oh, yeah, everything happens for a reason. Or, oh, I got saved in the ocean. But it must have been a great plan, and all this, A, B, and C happened. What do you say to the person that goes, none of that's real. You just got lucky. There's nothing watching over you. What would be your message? And if you had to change their mind, not saying that you want to, what would you say to do so?
I guess the only thing I could say is you'll never experience magic unless you believe in it. So if you have someone that doesn't believe in anything and they have these experiences, they're never going to get it. They're never going to embrace it. And it's a shame because they're going to miss out on a lot by not opening up.
Denny, you seem to be the real skeptic on the show. You hear Vicky bring up all of this stuff. Is there an ounce of you that is open to believe?
Yeah, I think if you experience something, then you're way more likely to believe, right? But if you don't experience something, then you probably, I just don't really have anything to compare it to.
Yeah.
I just haven't had much.
So if we were off the microphone, it was just me and you. I don't believe in that bullshit.
Well, I'm just saying, I haven't had an experience that has convinced me to believe, I guess.
But
I'm not a staunch against, I don't go out, just yelling at people who believe in stuff. It's more so I just haven't had an experience, so it's hard for me to.
But you have an experience splitting atoms, and they can do that.
Again, I don't think much about atoms, so it doesn't affect my life enough, I guess. But I guess ghosts do. Both of them don't affect my life that much, so I don't invest much into them.
But you haven't experienced a surgeon doing something or whatever, right? Or you hadn't.
For sure. So I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see where you're going with this.
Yeah. So, but if you're saying, Vicky, if you're open to it, you're more likely to experience it. Denny's really isn't open to it, so he's most likely not going to experience it. Then how do you explain things the hard ass said? I've never believed in shit, and then all of a sudden,
because because it caught them by surprise. It was a big enough moment that caught them by surprise. I've always said the difference between a skeptic and a believer is one experience. It only takes one.
But so does that mean the ghost that goes in front of a person like a Denny's or some guy out there in Texas, I don't believe no fucking ghost. Let's say, is there something out there paranormal strong enough and big enough that wants to make that skeptic believe and say, oh, okay, Denny's doesn't believe. I'm going to show him the 3-headed dragon face.
Cerebrus.
More likely, if somebody really wanted to break through to Denny's, it would be a relative who was on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, if a ghost visited me in a very, like Yoda moment,
I think there's an important.
then I mean, you have to believe.
It is what it
you
is.
would have a profound moment.
I
but-
think it's an important thing in terms of the conversation to acknowledge there's a difference between atheist and agnostic, right? And,
absolutely.
And although Denny's and I tend to trend towards more skeptical, we're not like against it, right?
Yeah,
like
definitely.
some people are like just adamantly against something. They're just more like, hey, I haven't experienced it. I haven't seen the proof for it. And that's kind of the difference between atheist and agnostic, right? Like,
and atheist is trying to disprove it,
Yeah,
and
exactly,
agnostic is open to it being a possibility.
exactly.
Just more seeing as believing type, I guess you could say.
Next question, Vicky. This is from Clara from the Pizzle, Port St. Lucie. If ghosts are spirits of the deceased, why do they wear clothes? Wouldn't their garments just be lifeless objects?
But do you see ghosts in the way that
I see them in the way that they were here when they were alive.
Plus, like naked ghosts would be awful, right?
Yeah, I don't want a bunch of naked ghosts showing up in my
It'd
house.
be so distracting.
Depends who the ghost is.
But what if it was? What if they died? What if they died in a nudist colony and that was just their way? They loved being naked,
So then
even in the
Well,
afterlife.
if that was their most identifying characteristic, that they were a nudist, then yeah, they probably would appear nude. But most of them are going to be wearing, and a lot of times people will be wearing not necessarily what they were wearing when they died, but something that would denote like a time period. Like they may have died when they were 80 years old, but their favorite time was the 70s, and they might appear to me dressed in 70s attire, and it would be important for me to make that connection that okay, when it was the 70s, they look like this and blah blah blah.
Would you help a ghost like a nudist ghost they were very kind and they were nice, but it was a dude and he was kind of old and gross looking. He was always scratching his balls.
I think that would kind of be hard to see.
But he was really asking for your help, but you were having trouble getting to the other side. He's kind of milling around a bit. Good heart, good spirit, but grossing you out a bit. Do you still help that guy, or do you try to?
Yeah, because I don't want him stuck here.
Yeah,
I
what
want
if
him
he
to go to the other
attaches?
side.
But
No.
Yeah, what if he just goes? I just can't cross over. Vicky, I just love your company.
No. We will open the light up and call in reinforcements. Definitely.
That would be the worst case scenario.
Oh, that'd be a shitty ghost.
Trying to help out a nudist, like an old guy with his balls out.
Oh my god.
That'd be rough. But he was kind. Like you wanted to help him.
I would.
Or maybe not. I don't know. Have you ever received a message from the other side that was so shocking and disturbing you had to just say, I can't share it? And if you do get that, how do you handle that?
There's messages that I would say have been very uncomfortable. A lot of times it has to do with abuse and things like that. When I see it, I try to figure out whether the person is going to be able to handle what I have to say. And a lot of times the people know from the look on my face that I just got something very uncomfortable. And if they already know or kind of figure out what I'm going to say, then they'll say, it's okay, you can say it. But if it were too uncomfortable and I figured out that the person couldn't handle what I have to say, then I probably would not say it. If it were something that wasn't going to be life-changing for them.
So are you shitty or awesome at poker? Because you've got the psychic abilities and maybe sense.
I'm shitty at poker.
But then you can't really have a good poker.
Because Vicky's an empath.
Yeah, I can't.
I think any empath is going to be horrible at poker.
No, I can't.
Or empath's going to connect 4, though. That's the question.
Or Clue.
Because I'll tear all you motherfuckers up on Connect 4.
Do you think all
I got you on Clue.
Do you think all psychic mediums are empaths?
No. Everybody has different abilities. Now, somebody who the way it happened for me is I got each one of the gifts in isolation, and then they all came together at the same time. Some people are like that, but some people are just clairaudient. They just hear spirits. Some people can see them. It's just not everybody is a one-stop shop.
Got it.
Yeah.
Very good stuff, Vicky. Another question for, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Can the psychic abilities, is it too much? Are you getting...
Fine.
Why do spirits seem to obey the limitations of human technology, like appearing in infrared, whispering through static, or barely moving objects? Shouldn't they be able to manipulate the physical world more? Kind of like the Force a little bit. You know, Denny's brings up Yoda.
Yeah, I mean, all of those things you mentioned make it easier for people to see and hear them. So it's just like taking advantage of those different avenues in order to communicate. Do they break through in other ways? Absolutely. They don't. That's not exclusive to those different ways.
Because I have had things on my calendar fly off. I've had people seen it fly off, not because someone knocked it over, we weren't near it, and it goes right off the wall. What is that? Is that a spirit getting all pissed off, or is that a spirit just showing off, going, look at what I just did with my ghost dick?
Usually, I mean, something.
It's a tall guy.
Yeah.
He was 8'2".
That'd be rough to walk into. Man.
Again, he's from the nudist colony.
Yeah, it's just a matter of, they could be doing it because they're pissed. It could be doing that all of a sudden. They decide, I'm going to fly something, and they manage to get in the mode so much that it flies further and harder than they anticipated. Just like, every once in a while you do something with more force than you expected.
Because if we do bring this up on the KVJ show tomorrow, you had mentioned about the feeling buzzing in here and getting... can you or
electrical shocks?
Electrical shocks. Your arm hurts and all that. Arm hurt doesn't sound like a good thing. Can you decipher if this are these nefarious? Are they nice? Are they mean? Is it a mixture? Is it a crowd of them? Because these are the questions Kevin's going to ask me.
You have right now. I'm being told you have at least 4 things. Right now.
Damn, like
okay.
the Beatles.
There's definitely a male, there's a female. You definitely have 1 or 2 nature spirits going around.
Is a nature spirit an elemental?
Yes.
Okay.
We like them though, right?
Yeah, I mean, but if they can be mischievous, so you just have to kind of feel them out and see.
Should I leave a present out for them?
You could leave them an offering. They like shiny things.
I was to say, does stuff like that work?
Yeah.
Shiny things.
Shiny things. They love shiny
Sounds
things.
like a girlfriend.
Shiny things. Okay.
So would you leave that in an offering dish or an area or a shrine?
Well, what I've done is I ran into elementals on an investigation, and they were basically hiding in the back of this playground that these people had, and there were all these bushes around with it that they were hiding in, and I gave them a bracelet. So we just simply took my bracelet off, and we put it, and we found a little place to hook it on the bush, and yeah, that's how I left it. Because you don't want to leave an offering someplace where somebody else could take it or do something with it.
So if I wanted to have my own elemental ceremony when y'all leave tonight, and I give an offering, and I'm not mocking it. I'm gonna be cool. What do you suggest I do? Give me an A, B, C, because that's how I learned the best. Bird, A, first thing you do. B, second thing. C, and boom, you're done. Get my shiny thing.
You can get your shiny thing. Make sure that you're respectful, because I'm just saying. I'm just giving you the guidelines. Make sure you're respectful. You can just say this is you. If you want to put it outside, you could hang it the same thing. You could hang it like, behind some of your dinosaurs or something like that you have out there. Sweet. And just say this is where it is. Another thing you can do, since they are nature and nature-based, you could also specifically take some cuttings from the things that are native here in Florida and just make a little fire pit and say, this is for you, and then burn those natural things.
Could I also, while I give an offering, say, please bring your friends? I want them here if they're cool.
Once you make an offering and you make your relationship with your elementals, they're going to naturally show up. You're going to be on the network that says, okay, Jaybird's cool.
This guy's down
Let's
to
go
party.
hang. Yeah.
This guy's got a vortex.
It's like college all over again.
Yeah, this guy likes to rage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it just happens naturally.
You should have a keg in the dinosaur garden.
So you said, don't get me started.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
So you're sensing at least 4, possibly more.
Yes.
Do you sense the guardian that's guarding my bedroom door still?
I can't tell if the male type figure that I'm seeing is him, because when I saw the guardian, he represented to me as male. So I can't tell if that is the male that I'm picking up or if there's another one.
Do you sense Gloria the ghost, the old timey?
There's a female here.
Va-va-voom.
There's a female here.
And you said, she's the one I personally think that really comes out when there's music, when I'm playing music.
Look for scratches.
On my back.
Somebody is going to end up with scratches here.
Me?
One of us 4.
I don't know.
Tonight?
No, I don't know when it's going to happen, but look
I
for
have to
scratches. She just showed me her hands and she has, the long nails. So just keep an eye out for scratches.
That'll be a fun conversation to have with the girlfriend.
I swear.
It was a ghost.
Yes, I swear these scratches on my back were just a ghost.
Oh,
And they
wow.
will be someplace like that. It'll be like on your back or someplace like
Perfect.
All right,
Good.
well, I'll
Possibly
check.
your arms.
Could be
Possibly.
Beckett too.
Thanks. Hopefully.
So, but is there a time period of scratching? And
I would look for it in the next couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks.
wow, so we have a scratch watch going on here.
All right.
Is it mocking it by calling Scratch Fest 2005 or 2025?
Might be a little disrespectful.
Is that a little mocky? Scratch Fest 2025. Beckett's the first and only one to get scratched. Just kidding.
I think she's gonna scratch me now instead of you.
You're so hopeful.
Oh, he wants
wants the
it. No, in fact, he needs it. Well, great job, Vicky, as always. You rock. We're gonna get ready to do some Tech It with Beckett, but I did want to show the people watching on our Weird and Whatever TV. Oh, we're calling it that. Have you seen this war dog? It's the dogs they send out in war now, and I believe China is making. I'm sure they're not the only country that has
The
them.
Belgium Marmots.
They're those robot dogs. That are,
robot. Oh.
The robot dogs.
So they're made in the likeness of a dog, but they're essentially they have 4 legs and they are designed to take things down.
It just looks as if you had a concrete monster running at it, it would still be able to go right through the concrete monster. You haven't seen this, Beckett.
I haven't seen the dog.
I'm
thing,
playing
no.
it on KVJ TV. I'm going to show you guys while this is playing.
I have seen on the Ukraine war, I think The Economist, they did how year 1 to now year 3, how it has changed to total drone on drone war.
Oh my gosh, that was the other video we're gonna show you. Yeah, there's one of the videos we're gonna show you is one of the war dogs, and it's fighting a drone. The drone is shooting from the sky down at the war dog, Vicky, and it looks like a scene from a movie. It doesn't even look real to me.
100%.
I mean, these things.
That's why the kids need to play video games. Like these people controlling, they're wearing basically VR headsets. And that said, the other corollary statistic is deaths have gone up in year 3 on the Ukraine war because it's become way more deathly. Like they actually have drones like following people.
Yeah, and who knows what's real or not, but I've heard that the drone technology is so good that they can zoom down and they're able to see your debit card.
Oh, damn.
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Now,
either.
if somebody has or has not heard that and that is not real, please let me know, because in this time of misinformation, I really don't know what's real anymore. I had to ask Denny's if the drone shooting the dog was real, because it doesn't even look real to me. It looks as if
looks
it's
sci-fi.
It looks like it's in a movie.
So I will tell you, this is real. I just watched the video.
So those things are real.
Just watched the report. This wasn't on like some kid's YouTube. This is like Reuters news. They have a drone dropping molten fire in a foxhole.
Oh,
Like that's how crazy it's got.
Damn.
And then they have drones coming up. There was a surveillance drone. And they had another drone come knock it out of the air.
oh, jeez.
Well, it just shows you that the things in the sky are capable of doing just ridiculous next level shit.
100%.
And we're living in that time. I'm a believer of aliens, as we all know that. I also think a lot of things we see in the sky are not from outer space. I don't think they're aliens or little green people running around or tall gray people. I think it's a blurred line. I think it's a mixture of both. And that's where I think drives people the most insane, because a half-truth, or I don't know, I feel like that can be a little bit more dangerous.
100%. Well, here's the thing. If 99.9% things are explainable and human things in the sky or all those things, okay, with the 0.1%, like from another galaxy, from another universe, right? Like, and when you hear all the things disproven, you know, as we talked about Denny's and I personality, you're like, oh, okay, like that was a flight, that was a drone, da 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 da, and you had all those scenarios, but you have that 0.1%, as we've talked about on the podcast, you're like, the hell was that?
Yeah, what is
Yeah,
that?
I can honestly say I had really one true what the hell is that UFO moment. It wasn't that long ago, and I know I keep talking about it, but it changed me in a profound way.
Yeah.
And it was with my boy, and we both jumped back, and we still talk about it today going, what the fuck did we see that night? What was that? And did anyone else see it? And then no one else no one else talked about it. You go, how did no one see it? Or was it so quick in the sky that maybe only a few saw it? But it was bizarre, and I look up every single night hoping to see it again.
You should put a ring camera in the sky and just...
Well, maybe I get the answers for everything.
Come on, Bird, just do that. That thing would go off constantly.
No, you're right. There's so much activity over here.
Planes.
Every 2 seconds, there's a plane flying by. No, you're right. We got to get more linked up around here.
That's a good thing about AI. You're like, hey, if this is unusual, AI would be like, let me know. Like, don't send me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just shoot me the 30 seconds here and there, and I'm going to go through that footage.
Oh, look, it's General Admiral AI Dick. I knew you were going to sneak in some AI, pro AI over there.
Always.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we won't go on a big AI rant, because I think people are so sick of either, I love AI, I fucking hate AI. It's, again, another
It's like
thing.
the internet. It's just going to be pervasive. It's going to be so pervasive like the internet. People aren't going to use the word internet anymore. It's just natural on your phone.
Do you have any kind of tech news you wanted to explain tonight or share with the good people?
Of course.
What do you got for us? 'Cause I thought that would be good after the horrifying war dog we
So
just
don't
saw.
knock it that AI is involved, but it's a great segue. It is a 0.1% of it, and it's actually a great segue on what we've been talking about.
Oh, do we have a show and tell this week?
I know you guys like show and tell.
Yeah, we do.
Well, if you guys are just listening to this, Denny's will describe what Beckett has in great detail.
So I am extremely excited. I am bringing you, like, you know, YouTube people who do unboxing, and for the next podcast, I'll send it to you guys, the actual video that comes from it.
All right.
All right.
So Beckett is leaning over and grabbing a box.
Well, what's new? So it is a AI.
Oh, dude.
Have you
Bird.
seen this?
No, he hasn't, but Bird's
Have you
like,
seen
Are you
this?
being a dick right now?
No.
I just got this.
You just got it?
I had it in my backyard. I had to take it down.
Why?
Because all the birds were shitting everywhere in my pool.
It was attracting too many
What
birds.
if you put it over in the corner and you do something like less attractive in terms of bird feed?
It doesn't matter. I lead the league in crow shit right now.
Get out of here.
Because of the same bird. I just talked about this
So,
today
yeah.
on the air. You're trolling me right
No,
now.
I swear.
So,
I swear.
just to catch him up on the show, Bird was talking about how he got this bird feeder, which has a camera in it, so you can see the birds that are coming up.
It's got full night vision.
I know.
Well, so the side effect that was negative of it was that it attracted so many birds to Bird's yard. Now it's covered in just bird shite.
I mean, I never had so much bird shit in my life. If bird shit was gold, I would at
But you
least
can't
have.
put it in like a corner somewhere where it doesn't matter?
Becky, I tried it in 5 different spots. It doesn't matter. I have a weird situation. I have a low-hanging line, and I don't know what it is. The crows, I don't know if it's covered in crow dust. They love it around here. But I did get people telling me to change my food up.
Yes.
Because I wanted to attract cardinals.
Oh, yeah.
But-
And they told you to quit dissing the crows.
Yeah.
They told me in fact, a couple things happened. They told me to stop dissing crows, which I'm like, I'm not dissing crows. And the other thing was, you're not supposed to summon the cardinal. The cardinal's supposed to summon you.
Ooh.
And
I like that.
Vicky, that kind of hit me hard. Why is Vicky rolling her eyes at that?
So,
Well, I'm not big on the Cardinals being a signal from the other side.
Damn.
so I think this will be interesting. Like we were talking about, which is a great segue. This will AI cut the video, and I will let you guys and the audience know if I have a different experience. I have a pet supermarket right by my house. They have like little like water. Did you get the water things?
Dog, the whole thing was fully operational. They were shitting everywhere back here. I don't know what to tell.
Birds talking about getting a bird bath back there. Attracts better
I like
birds.
bird bath.
I know.
A bird bath with an AI camera.
So put the bird bath in front of that so you can get both.
that could be our invention.
I love it.
Jaybird.
That's awesome though. I actually think it's a great idea.
It
It
is
just sucks that you had such a poor experience with it.
No, it's a great idea, Beckett, and I'm busting your balls. I do really love it. I'm going to change up the food, and to your point, there's one section in the yard I have not put it in.
Okay.
I think it might be the right spot.
Just put it close to your neighbor's place out front.
Why suck at shit in there? Beckett's trying to get me in a fight with my neighbors.
Yeah.
No, but I'll bring in video. I'm very excited about it. I'm going to set it up tomorrow, and I think it's going to be awesome because I love nature. I sometimes on YouTube watch like eagles' nests and like
Oh yeah.
like some Yellowstone National Park. It's really cool.
I was telling Kevin today on the show. I mean, I know I'm getting old because I love watching. What's that road shop?
Antiques Roadshow.
Antiques Roadshow, and I love watching birds. I just love just watching them just kind of just walk around and just flap their wings.
That makes sense because you like Rust Market.
I mean, old as shit.
Yeah. To this day, my mini bar is because I was hanging out with you guys at Rest Market.
I love that
And it's the
thing.
old 1920s record player the lady redid. It's the best thing ever.
I love that.
Yeah, if you guys ever hear us talking about the Rust Market, it's in Lake Park. It's off Park Avenue, and my buddy Jesse runs it. And we always see KVJ Nationers and Weird and Whatever peeps out there. And it's if you like going out and trying to buy old antique
Love it.
stuff or toys, or I mean, how would you describe it, Denny? It's stuff with arts and crafts
Yeah,
as well.
arts, craft, toys, antiques. I'd say that encompasses everything.
It's a free event. It's I find it to be quite cozy, not just because my buddy puts it on. I love shit like that.
Same here.
Me and Denny's are going to something this Sunday if people want to show up. Do you have the details on
So
that?
it's in Lake Worth. It's at the Polish Club.
Oh, it is at the Polish
yeah,
Club.
I looked it up. And
Okay.
it's a toy and collectible convention. So on Sunday we're gonna go out there. It has all like the cool comic book toys and probably pop cultural things like
Oh
that.
my gosh.
People
You're
dress
You're going
up.
to be a pig in shit.
I just
I remember the last one we went to. Actually, we've been to a few of these, and yeah, you always score big.
they're fun. I don't know.
great.
I'm such a dork at heart, and people could dress up. You get
Yeah. It's fantastic. When is
Yeah.
this?
It's Sunday,
Sunday.
so if KVJ Nation wants to go out there, I'm not sure about the price. I'd imagine that one might cost some.
Yeah. What was it last year? It's really never like super expensive. or
No,
anything.
but I mean, if you don't tell people it costs something,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
will hunt you down in the parking lot.
bitch, that was $12.
Yeah, exactly. Doppelgangers. How do we feel about doppelgangers?
So a doppelganger being somebody that looks like you somewhere else out in the world.
Yes, there are countless reports of people seeing exact doppelgangers of themselves. Is it a glitch or is it reality? I'm talking identical to a Beckett.
It's just like a similar branch of a genetic tree, I think. It's like, totally makes sense.
I think it's bound to happen,
Yeah.
right?
I remember I was probably 8 years old and I got out of the car. We were going to some kind of garage sale, and there was a dude getting out of the car, probably, I don't know, 100 feet away, and we both started staring at each other, and he looked just like me, but about 7 years older, and my mom and my aunt at the same time go, that guy looks just like you.
Yeah.
And it's like the guy knew he looked like me as a kid, and I knew that he looked like me as a young adult. It was very bizarre, Vicky.
Yeah, I mean, there's the logical side. There's only so much genetics to go around, so somewhere you're probably going to end up with a copy.
Mm-hmm.
But the paranormal side is that there's a lot of legends. If you see a doppelganger, something bad is going to happen,
Oh, jeez.
and it's it's going to bring some kind of tragic event.
Omen of some sort.
That makes sense because we did not have a very good garage sailing that day.
Damn, thinking back.
Yeah, holy shit, we missed a whole section of G.I. Joes. But here's what's messed up. There was a man wrongfully convicted for his doppelganger's crime. because he was in prison for so long, he was awarded $1.1 million. Richard Jones was released in 2007 after 17 years in prison.
Oh my God.
A man who spent 17 years in prison for crimes committed by a lookalike. $1.1 million. 17 years of your life. 1.1. That is not worth it.
No,
to
it's not
me.
worth it.
No way. You gotta get paid.
You
way
hear about
more.
someone that get like hot coffee on their hand and they get $20 million. Like you're just been 70
you're like-
years in like a penitentiary. Like, dude,
The package says it's hot.
pay out. Yeah, exactly.
You get so the injustice.
You wonder how many times that has happened. Where
Probably tons.
Tons. Somebody's been in prison because they looked like somebody else. And they're sitting there going, what the shit?
Would you count it to be a doppelganger if it's from a different time frame? Because there's an old John Wayne movie, black and white one, and one of the girls in the churches looked just like my friend Drew Begeman. Like, they looked identical. But we're talking maybe a 50-year difference in time.
There is...
Is that still a doppelganger, or does that not count? Because they're not alive at the same time?
I don't know. That's a great question.
I think they have to be, for it to be doppelganger, I think you have to have it in the same
Time frame, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't know.
Yeah.
So ignore that story
I think
I just
so.
told.
No, it's... well, no, keep it. We love it.
I'll edit it out.
I once dated somebody that looked like Clint Eastwood. She looked just like Clint Eastwood. It was,
Glad you clarified.
yeah, she did. No, you know how you can date somebody that, they have a brother?
Oh, yeah.
And then they have a hot sister?
Well, it looks like Patrick Swayze with long hair.
Oh, you're in a Swayze. Someone is crazy for Swayze. Well, guess what you just ordered, my friend? You ordered some Patrick Swayze highlight clips after the podcast
I love
tonight.
it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Has anyone ever seen their own doppelganger? Can anyone top my story of seeing myself in the future?
There was when I went to Washington, D.C. in 5th grade, there was a girl in another school, another group, and everybody would do a double take because they'd see her and then they'd see me like further back in the line or whatever, and they said, oh, they look exactly alike. And for years I had the picture because, they used to take that big, giant, panoramic, picture on, sorry, I know you didn't go, I'm sorry, at the DC trip. And I could find her because she did. She looked just like me.
Wow, Beckett, what hot piece of ass looked like you?
Hasn't really
Well,
happened.
you look like the guy from Magic Mike.
Magic Mike.
From the guy from, was it White Collar? Was the other show?
Oh, yeah. I've got that guy before.
You bear a resemblance.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say you guys are doppelgangers.
No,
Yeah.
not you. Resembling isn't a doppelganger.
I'm with
Doppelganger, you go, holy shit, that looks just like Kevin Ralston from the show. Kevin has a lot of
He does.
doppelgangers. There's an Indian Kevin Ralston doppelganger, looks just like Kevin. There was a woman doppelganger. There was a country dude from Texas that looked just like Kevin.
People have sent in stuff, and you go, damn, that looks just like him.
Well, I'll bring up one in pop culture that still blows my mind to this day, and I haven't seen it, is the Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer and Will Ferrell.
Oh, yeah, gosh.
They do look...
Same dude. And they even did a skit, I think, where Will Ferrell played the drums for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's how insane
They look very much
similar
alike.
they look
I've been
together.
saying that for so long.
I always thought the bad boyfriend from Scream... We all go a little crazy.
yeah.
Yeah,
Sid.
it was like Johnny Depp.
He looks so much like Johnny
he
Depp
does
to
like
me.
young Johnny Depp
He
from
did.
like Friday the 13th or something.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Jeez, I'm so dumb.
Come on, Denny's.
Slipping.
I mean, it's a weird whatever.
But yeah, he looks just like him. Jeez.
With that said, Denny's, I think it might be time for some
Denny's Random Facts.
Our awesome, sweet Denny's. He does a great job hunting factoids all over the internet and the encyclopedias. He gives us those factoids. Vicky, our educator, grades it. If she loves it, she gives it an A. If she does not, she gives him an F. Denny's, the floor is yours.
Is anyone allergic to chocolate in here?
No.
It's actually pretty rare. Only 1 to 2% of the world is allergic to chocolate, but a lot more people identify as being more allergic to chocolate, which is weird. And they did a recent study, and they found that, it's only 1 to 2% are actually are allergic to chocolate. But they also discovered what they might actually be allergic to, because 20 to 40% of people are allergic to cockroaches.
Ew.
And by law, there's allowed to be 60 insect pieces per 100 grams. And if you have a cockroach allergy, which 20 to 40% of United States citizens do, you might actually be allergic to cockroaches, not necessarily chocolate.
That makes sense.
A common misconception.
That turns my stomach. Gosh,
I saw that. It was
roaches
amazing.
are rough, man.
They are rough. So yeah, if you think you have a chocolate allergy, you might actually just have a bug allergy.
I think it's a C for cockroach.
Damn.
It's not impressive.
For gross.
When I found out when I was a little kid that cockroaches breathe through their back, I wanted
bums me
to
out.
just vomit. It was just
I didn't know that.
it. Unless I'm wrong,
No,
and that was.
I've heard that too.
Did you know that, Vicky? Am I wrong?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Oh.
That's a random fact.
Yeah.
I don't think it's funny how cockroaches just do everything that's repulsive. Everything about them, just their brood of eggs is gross. They just climb around in wet slime.
I'm not sure if you've ever had to dance with a flying cockroach. It is something of nightmares. It really is.
I don't know what happened in this area, but a long time ago when I was younger, when they first were building like Abacoa and stuff, you would go out and there would be so many of those palmetto beetles. Just this area had so many of them. We were getting ice cream once, and we thought it was raining, and we looked, and it was palmetto beetles falling out of a tree.
Oh God! All right.
Dude, yes. So, but I used to ride my bike in the evening, and there would be palmetto bugs, and you would have to swerve around them because they're pretty big.
Yeah,
and
they're big.
they make a big noise when you cross
I
them.
think palmetto bugs might be like Denny's spider.
Oh,
like I
don't like those things either.
No, I'm saying like how you feel about spiders is how I feel about palmetto bugs. I was as a kid, I had this like fantastic dream, like being tickled on my bed, like whole thing. I woke up in my bed and there was literally the largest, hugest palmetto bug crawling all over my bare
You
skin.
can see their faces.
I was like Jim Carrey and Ace Ventura after he figured out like he had made out with Einhorn. Like I like burnt my clothes. I had a plunger in the shower. It was one of the most heebie-jeebie moments ever.
I was sleeping on a mattress in Colorado. I've told this on the air before, but I felt like same type of thing. One of those dreams that you're dreaming and then you kind of come to awake. And I felt something scratching me, and I sometimes would fall asleep with my clothes on, like sweaters and stuff. So a zipper, I like disrobed, but I still kept feeling it. So I woke up and I hit the light, and there's a centipede probably like from my belly button to my neck on my stomach.
Yeah.
And I flung it. And in Colorado, all the air vents are on the floors; they're not in the walls and the ceilings.
Yeah.
And it went into that, and I go, I can't go to sleep now.
Yeah,
I was like, this
yeah,
thing's just like waiting for me.
Yeah, I woke up with a toad jumping on my face. That was
Oh
awful.
gosh.
That was pretty awful. That will keep you up. Vicky, any horrible creature wake you?
A palmetto bug. One time we were doing construction on the house. So when we did that, a lot of the palmetto bugs got in, and I was sleeping, and I felt something on me, and I went like this, and it hit so hard against the wall, like that thing had to be hit because I heard plop and like a crack and yeah.
Oh my God.
But I haven't seen, I'm not trying to bring it onto the plague of locusts or anything, but I have not seen a palmetto bug it's been years. When's the last time you saw one, Bird?
Probably tonight when I go do my elemental ceremony.
At 1 a.m. while you're sleeping? There'll be one on your neck.
I leave this shiny elemental present, and I have palmetto bugs thanks to Denny's.
I teased this one on the video before the podcast, but have you guys ever heard of the Caterpillar Club? So it's kind of cool.
I've heard of the Babysitters Club.
So the Caterpillar Club is an exclusive club for people who jump out of a failing aircraft and survive using a parachute. It was established back in World War II, but then continued as these things happen to people over time. But they have a pretty strict requirement to get in. In fact, there's a World War II general who survived jumping out of a plane and landing into a snowdrift, but when he jumped, his parachute came off and didn't eject, so they don't count it. They denied him access into the thing, even though he survived. There's also a case where a group of 12 skydivers were denied membership because it was proven that one of the skydivers intentionally did something to the plane to cause it to have an issue. And when they investigated and they realized that somebody caused it, they disqualified them and they wouldn't count them into the thing. But there's also other clubs for this. There's the Goldfish Club. That's for anyone who lands in water and survives. The Late Arrivers Club for anyone who walked back from behind enemy lines. The Guinea Pig Club for anyone who was severely burned during the initial experiments on aircrafts. The Sea Squatters Club for anyone who's crashed at sea and has all survived. Just a bunch of different random clubs for people to get together and share the experience of surviving something traumatic.
Vicky, what are your thoughts on that?
See.
Damn, wow.
Yeah, you're not wowing me tonight.
Shit. I mean, you're going to summer school, son.
No, I just don't want to repeat class here. Let me see.
Get
All right,
it?
what about this?
Put his name on the board.
All right, let's see. All right, what about this? Great white sharks have never been seen mating ever by anyone. There's zero recorded footage of a great white shark reproducing.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask a dumb question. Does a shark have a dick? No.
Oh, yeah,
it
sharks
does,
got
right?
dicks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think they have to tangle with each other, and they line their holes up, and then I think it just juts into there, and then I think they lock.
I think that's normal.
Yeah, I think a lot of animals lock.
Becky, be honest. Are you a quarter hard?
Well, you know how teachers sometimes will get like hamsters for class or a class pet of some
Oh,
sort?
do I?
I know you got a story, but
Yeah.
there was one where the hamsters were reproducing. They brought a hamster and we were all excited. And they're like, these hamsters are going to reproduce. Like they brought another hamster from another school and they got locked and all the kids started crying because it's like, they're like, what's happening to the hamsters? They were trying to like, but they're just doing their hamster thing.
I'm not sure hamster's the right move for kids, especially when hamsters are being born. They'll eat their young, and the kids aren't ready for it. And sometimes you think the woman's pregnant, and then the male gives birth, and you go, "Oh, so that was the mom the whole time." That's not. I don't know, Beckett.
No.
Then someone breaks into your pavilion in 4th grade, and then they steal the hamsters, and then you find them behind the bookcase 3 months later.
Yeah, I mean, just the age-old tale.
Yeah, something like that.
Like, or something of that nature.
Yeah, you know, we all know that tale, right?
Nature's crazy.
Vicky,
So I would just say, starting like about last year, a year and a half ago, I guess scientists found the spot where they think great white sharks congregate every year, called the White Shark Cafe. Supposedly, a bunch of fish all converge in this area, and the sharks just go crazy. They go really deep, so that's why we haven't.
I bet they do.
They go real deep.
Do we need some saxophone music right now?
And so I guess that's why they haven't been able to film them because they go so far deep. But this year, I guess they're going to try to film them. So Shark Week this year might get some.
That's interesting. Well, the other thing, because of their gills, they have to keep swimming. So, like, they're having sex while they're swimming because of the gills, right? Like,
yeah, fish in general, I think, always have to. But yeah, so they think it's weird because sharks tend to be, especially great white sharks, tend to be solo creatures. So this is like the one time they all get together and they just shark
do it. Just go for it.
And then afterwards, you get baby shark.
I do hear that song a lot, by the way.
I just get hooked on watching sharks. I can watch a shark documentary. I just find them so amazing.
That's why they think it's so weird. There's no footage of them reproducing.
Because it's probably, like you're saying, it's too deep. Going too deep.
And I think
they are great whites.
They just found the spot, so it all just,
There's so much in you into it.
so much.
I mean, so much. Dennis, come on, you're really cooking tonight. Give us another one. Oh, did you give him a grade on that?
Well, I was gonna give him a C until he went real deep, and I'm gonna make it a B.
yeah, I mean, Dennis, you're making everybody horny.
Baby shark.
For bull shark. All right, so check. Here's what's weird. We have a bunch of religions, and then from those religions, people will kind of change one thing, and then it has to be called a different religion. Like the Amish and the Mennonites believe that we don't have the choice to baptize a child. A child should make that decision, when they're 21. So that religion's a different religion just because of that slight difference. So there's a really odd religion that came out of Panama. There was settlers that went there, and the settlers were cruel, and then the people revolted and drove out the settlers, but the settlers taught them Christianity before so. And that Christianity was kept going by this lady, Delia, and then she died at the young age of like 27 or 25, and they passed her responsibility onto a child. And the child had a vision that Jesus was going to ride up in a motorcycle, and that has become the focus of their religion, that they're the only soul people that are going to be saved by Jesus when he rides up on his hog.
So if you hear, get him on the run and born to be wild.
Must be a nice hog.
It's a big hog.
So I mean, when you think about it, anybody can have their own.
Well, that's what's kind of
Oh,
weird. So
religion.
they were celebrating their 58th anniversary of their freedom from their oppressors, and Mama was the lady Delia who was leading them, based on Virgin Mary, and then Tata. So the name of the religion is called Mama Tata, which stands for Mother Jesus, and then she passed away. And she was succeeded by this young girl. And
Akuma Matata.
they kept the religion going with this young girl. And
Wow.
Sounds about
any
right.
vision she really had, they kind of just incorporated into their religion.
I
And
wasn't going to start a religion, but I was going to start a cult. Who's coming with me?
I would definitely join your cult.
I appreciate it. All right, I got two. Becky, you. I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna get real weird.
I don't know anything about it, but I think it'll be fun.
So what do you think about that, though? Making a change, something like that, and then now it's a different religion. It's an offshoot of Christianity, because a lot of the beliefs are the same, except for they believe everyone is a sinner except for them. It's kind of a very centered.
Could you imagine if you died and the first thing you hear is "Welcome to heaven"?
You heard it first here.
Welcome to heaven. Come on, get on the back of my cycle.
Look up Mama Tata.
We're
We're
talking
go-
about this on the podcast.
We're going to the gates.
Look up Mama Tata, man, if you want to follow Jesus and his hog.
Well, Denny, I thought that was a great job. Vicky, what was that last grade?
Let's see.
Oh, wow.
Oh, crucified.
Well, Denny, I thought you did good.
I'm a C student. High C.
We've got a couple random clips here. Man charged for trying to have sex with a train seat.
Train seat.
Train
Yeah,
seat.
I feel like
the
they-
seat on a train, or a train to watch a fake train go around a track.
Or he was running a train.
Well, Denny, I think I got to play the clip. And you guys tell me.
The first thing we do is we start pulling video. So in this particular case, we were able to provide very detailed, very descriptive video. This individual is on that exclusionary list. And as a result of this act, on the 13th of February, we'll be banned, we'll receive a lifetime ban as well.
Trains and buses, I feel like a lot of weird shit goes down. Subways, too. No?
He can never be on
Subways, definitely.
He can never be on To Catch a Predator, because if he say like, take a seat,
He's like, I already had it. I already had that seat. Dude, I've seen some wicked things on
well,
subways.
you know, it's the demographic, right? Like the demographic, right? Like train used to be luxury travel, and you know, like now,
It's an affordable way to go a long distance.
yeah. I don't know.
Buses too, man. You can go pretty far for not too expensive.
What's the weirdest thing you've seen on a train or a bus? I bet you any money it has to do with somebody masturbating.
Semen, yeah.
I
so
knew it.
on
I
the
knew it. I knew it.
the subway, the guy was just staring at us while doing it. We watched everything all the way through fruition.
So
It was horrible, by the way.
Why would you continue to watch it?
Well, dude, because you're stuck on a train. There's a ton of people on it, and the guy's right next to you, just breathing on you.
why are you masturbating? Watch shaming Denny.
Yeah, what? But yeah, he just all over the seat and
It's
just
like a train crash. You can't turn away.
didn't even pull his pants up.
If Dennis wants to watch,
horrible.
If Dennis wants to watch, let the man watch.
Fair enough.
No,
Let the boy watch. Yeah,
No,
I didn't want to watch, by the way.
No, it's quite alarming that just in my own personal circle of friends or sisters or colleagues, so many people have a story of somebody masturbating out in public.
Yeah, I think every person I know has had a story of somebody masturbating publicly.
Which shows you that's
Not me.
that's
Oh,
never
wow.
happened. You've never had some weirdo come up to you and go,
check out this thing.
Nope.
Okay, I mean, I'm not saying it happens to everybody, but I know it happened to my mom, it happened to my aunt, it happened to other people in my family, it's happened to...
Happened to me in a Burger King window.
Did it really?
Were you working Burger King, or you
No, I
were
was
getting your food?
sitting there having a.
Oh, you were so you were sitting at the table, and then somebody pulled up next to you in the window?
No, he walked up to the front glass.
no.
Yeah,
And he
yeah,
showed you his Whopper?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Did you put it on the glass?
It was like for full display, like of anyone
See?
that was in the restaurant.
I've seen it before. Denny, you
Oh,
said
yeah,
you've
yeah.
seen it before.
I mean, he was high, clearly high on a lot
yeah,
of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Well, I mean, look,
We watched that guy duking off the side of the road.
It was a busy road. I have the video. I don't know. I'm just so trained to videotape.
Dude, he walked up like he was gonna cross the street and then just dropped trow.
No, that doesn't make sense to me.
I can't believe what a prevalent problem it is. I'm not saying everyone's got a story, and I'm not trying to throw the alarm bell off here. But look, man, there's a lot of people have stories about somebody masturbating on a.
Or flashing. I feel like flashing was pretty big for a long time.
But a lot of them, like you said, they like to look. They like to look at you, and they want you to look
your
back.
reaction.
There's that story from the beginning of the year. This guy was married with a newborn child, or maybe the baby was 1, maybe 2, and he was driving around this restaurant, a fast food restaurant, where the workers all wore bikinis. And I guess he had done it before, where he would pull up to the drive-thru where the girl would come out, and he'd flash and show his penis and do his thing and then drive off. Well, he did it a second time, and they were ready for him, and they got it all on video, including his license plate. He was recognized. He was shamed on social media and then committed suicide a day later. Well, this all happened within 3 days. I mean, it's insane what's going on out there.
What a dick.
It's just you feel bad for his family.
Yeah, you feel bad for
because
everyone
you feel bad for his family because that poor kid has got to go through life.
Oh God!
Not
100%.
only with what his father did and how he passed. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the good thing is that we tend to forget a lot of those things pretty quickly because there's always some other story that's going to replace it, and then you just kind of forget it.
That's true.
You know.
But is that a good? That's a sad thing, isn't
Well,
it?
no, it's good for the family
What do
that
you
people are
mean?
going to forget the story and not be stigmatized over it.
It's like the more crazy stuff. It's like the media. The more crazy stuff like in politics or PR, you flood the zone. The more crazy stuff, the less that crazy thing. If someone's squeaky and they do one bad thing, it becomes like a huge blow up. Right? If someone just like continuously like does or says crazy shit, you're like, oh, like,
No,
I can't
you're
even
right.
keep up.
I agree with you guys. I'm sure when other kids at school find out what happened, they'll be cool. You acting like kids aren't, monsters at times.
No, they are.
I was driving down Okeechobee once, and there was a lady standing there naked, holding a laptop with the cable in it, hanging, dangling, not plugged in. And she was just standing there at the corner. Naked. So I made a U-turn because I was like, what the fuck was that? So I turned around, and by the time I did, the cops were there, and they were taking her in. But I go, damn, that was weird. It's kind of eerie.
I'm just curious, anybody in the chat room right now, if you have had a situation where you've either been flashed or you've seen something like we're talking about, just hit the just hit the number 1. I want to see if it's as prevalent as I'm thinking, because Vicky says it's never happened to her, but all the 3 dudes in here have had an experience.
I streaked in high school. Did you ever do that?
Never.
I did as well.
No,
yes.
no.
I streaked and skinny dipped.
Rival homecoming game.
We just did it at a house party.
Scared the
There
shit
was
out of
no
me.
phones and stuff back then.
Because I was such a goody two shoes in high school, it scared the shit out of me.
I did not want anyone seeing my pud. We've got one. We're getting
I'm
some.
sure you'll see some.
We're getting some. I just want to see how we have a whopping 37 people watching right now. Out of 37 people, how many people has that happened to? I'm just curious on the numbers on
So
that.
Grant said when cops first hit the TV airwaves, they busted a guy masturbating in the bushes at Burger King on Congress and Lake Worth Road.
Oh, that checks.
It does. Come on, guys. Everybody jerking off over at Burger King.
Why is everyone going to the home with a Whopper?
Good gosh.
Is it the flame broiled smell?
It smells good out.
Something about it.
It gets people going.
Those onion rings.
I don't know. Oh, we're at 39 people.
You
Okay.
Nice.
I love it. Look at this. We've got 3 ones, 4 ones in there
Yeah.
so far. Well, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, I'd say I don't know, man. Living in Orlando, I feel like it's pretty common. It was a lot more. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it'd be more common any place than other, but maybe just because of population density.
It's crazy out there, Denny's. Next clip, man charged for... we already did that one. Man on Survivor has 4 nipples. You ever hear that rumor Marky Mark has a 3rd nipple?
No. I had a buddy that he had like a split nipple, so you could technically call it like a third.
I had a
right?
friend who also had.
I think it was from surfing, like like all the friction on the surf wax, but like it was literally like.
Well, so do you know how when you rub your nipples, you can feel it? You can.
Yeah.
Some people get stimulated. I'm not trying to turn this into a weird thing. If you have a third nipple, does that feel? Does it feel good? Can you stimulate the third nipple or the fourth nipple?
I think in some cases the third nipple doesn't play by the same rules.
Really?
Yeah, I'd say it has to be a true third nipple for you to get that sensation.
So would you have that same kind of talk or theory? And people don't like when we talk medical, and we're asking the question. Let's say you had two penises. Does the second penis not feel as good as the first?
In some cases,
Depends what it's doing.
people can have
Let's say they're both going full gorilla. Does one?
They're both rocking.
Yeah, they're both rocking that, and
Yeah, I think then both could.
they both are having optimal.
Well, so I guess again, we don't want to get too medical, but
Because we're not doctors, we want to make sure.
I don't think it's possible
How
to have
many
a control.
balls?
I don't think it's possible to have a control experiment on that.
how many balls are we talking? Because I feel like those. Well, again, I'm not trying to get too medical.
Well, I think it's a fair question, and again, we're not medical professions here. It's a great question, Denny. What if there is 4 balls?
Well, so what if the balls are only hooked up to one of the rods?
Wow.
I don't think that affects sensation.
Well, it might not affect the sensation, but it might affect the outcome at the end.
You watch your mouth in front of Vicky.
Just saying.
I think the true question is circumcised, uncircumcised.
No,
I mean, it's-
I don't want to get any of that back in. I want this to stick to 2 penises and 4 balls. Let's keep this thing clean. Let's keep it organized.
I'm just saying. I think there has to be a proportionate ratio of ball to penis for that to be.
We are
It's
throwing.
always a 2-for-1.
We are throwing that out to the medical community. Please let us know. And we don't trust Google anymore, or the internet. We trust our KVJ Nation and the weirdos
Hey,
out
I was
there.
gonna be like, what?
So send our email. Denny's what email?
Do mail at KVJ show just so Kevin has to see it.
Oh, he's gonna hijack that topic.
He's gonna be like, yoink.
He's like, oh, two dongs, 4 balls. We gotta talk about this.
I just came here for the reach arounds and the scratches.
But here is the clip from the man at Survivor with the 4 nipples. Whoa, we really got on a dong tangent.
Tangent and all that. Here it is.
So, fun fact, I have 4 nipples.
Oh, okay.
I got 4 nipples. All right. They don't look like it because they got removed when I was like 12 years old.
God gives everybody a humble trait. Yeah. So he gave me haggard toes.
Girl, those things look jacked
Okay, question for everybody. Just say yay or nay, and state your name.
Yay.
Would you?
I don't know. I guess I didn't get the assignment.
Would you like 4 nipples or not?
Nay.
Do I get to pick where
Ryan
they go?
You have to say I am Denny's and
I am Denny's, and do I get to pick where they go, or is it just random?
you get to pick where they go.
All right, then yay.
But it's all below your private.
Gosh, it's got to be below the waist.
Yes.
The nipples do.
Yes.
All right, I'd still say yay. I put them on one on each butt cheek.
1 in each butt cheek. Beckett.
No, it's like a ashtray on a bicycle. Like I have no need for 2 extra nipples.
Well, then you could wear V underwear because it would look here at butt cleavage.
Vicky, do I have consent to ask this question?
The answer is no.
You had to figure everybody would say probably no.
I would say yes.
All
I
right,
would
where are
say-
you putting them?
I'm probably gonna put them on 1 knee each.
Knees is not bad though either.
You could never take a knee.
I mean, your nipple would definitely.
Or maybe I want to take a knee. Maybe some people. Maybe some.
It makes way more sense for females because if they're nursing, they have 4 kids. What's the point for a male to have extra nipples? There's no point.
Well, bragging
I still to
rights.
this day don't understand why males have nipples in the first place.
Some males like nipple play.
So
Look, all right, let's change the subject.
Some guys like ear play. I don't know.
This is getting out of hand, Becky. This is getting out of hand. Let's see what else we got here. All right, we're done with our clips. Time slips. Well, what time? 7:11. We got to wrap this thing up. Yeah, it's time to go. I know. I'm having so much fun.
Oh, we're talking nipples.
we did a little bit of a nip slip on this podcast.
So it's weird or whatever. So sometimes it's paranormal, sometimes it's Bigfoot, sometimes it's nipple and two dogs.
It's always paranormal.
This is the part of the song, or the song. This part of the podcast I love. If you are an original songwriter, please send us your music. I want to play it at the end of our podcast. We love when people are original with their music. We love songwriters. Doesn't matter what kind of music it is. If it's polka, if it's rap, if it's classical, if it's instrumental, please send us your music. This week is a artist named Sawyer Reef, and Virginia sent this to me. He knows Virginia. And this is a song, I believe it's called, is it Hummingbird?
It's called Mockingbird.
Oh, I was close. Jay Bird was wrong about the Mockingbird. This is Sawyer Reef. You can find him on Spotify and send us your music. Thank you, everybody, for listening to us. Vicky, anything to plug?
Yeah, I will be at the Barnes & Noble in Boynton Beach this Saturday starting at 3 p.m. if anybody wants to come by. Or if they want to book a reading, you can email me at nancy38drew@aol.com.
And I believe Jen will be out there as well.
Yes.
I love it. Okay, everybody, this is Sawyer Reef with
Mockingbird.
On my face in a way that seems so new. Only thing to keep my grace is to try to fight on through. And when you flatter me, blow off that morning dew. Get rid of all the bad, revealing ocean blue. My mockingbird, my mockingbird, my mockingbird, my mockingbird. Hard and fast, and the cracks I fall right through into a winter's dark. My knees I fall down too. And when you flatter me, hide all the things gone wrong. Get rid of all I had, reveal your summer song. My mockingbird, my mockingbird, my mockingbird, my mockingbird. Every day and every waking night I will not fall an inch out of your sight until the day you wanna fly away from me. Dawn, and every second's time I will not put